Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So, in the past few weeks, I have some discussions with our Wing Chun friends in Europe. And it turns out that I have learned many things which is I do not know before. One of the things is I always thought that everybody in this world know English, especially like in the West, in Europe, everybody know English. It turns out that that is not the case. Many people spoke Spanish and they are not fluent with English. So that's why many of our friends in Europe asking me to present something in Spanish. I never know that. I always thought, oh yeah, English is the international language that everybody know English, but this is not the case. And so it seems that many people in this world is not fluent with English. So some friend also told me that the friends who is in South America or the friends who is in Europe, they might not fully understand what I'm presenting in this channel. And in the discussions, some friends have told me that they sense that this is a time of Wing Chun crisis. Wing Chun is facing a crisis now. And some friends is saying that it is not convincing for them to be able to find authentic Wing Chun in Asia. Well, as we all know, in today's world where information flow freely and people can compare, like with karate, with jiu-jitsu, with Western boxing, with MMA, and the standard of expectations seems to have rise up. So there are many questions our friends in Europe asked me. So I said, okay, why don't you make a list? You guys can make a list. I'm going to share with you in English so that those of you who know your language, you can translate to your language. And this way, you can help all the Wing Chun practitioners who love to know what is going on, have a solid understanding on what is going on. So sure enough, today I got a list of questions. So this is a list of questions for Zoom in Spanish. I really wish I can speak Spanish. And actually, some friend even asked me, say, "Do you know anybody who speak Italian?" So I think the informations in this channel, if you know Italian, French, and Spanish, maybe you can help to translate to your friend, so everybody have an education of what is going on. It is doing a public service to help people, right? So today I would like to respond to the questions these friends email me. And so before that, I like to share with you all that, yes, Wing Chun is in crisis. Now, I'm saying that it is not based on what is my lineage, who am I, the grandmaster, but as an quote-unquote archaeologist in traditional Chinese martial art and Wing Chun. As an archaeologist, whatever I said, I need to give you proof, evidence. As the ancient Chinese always say, single evidence do not count. You need multiple evidence. So what I'm going to share with you is based on multiple evidence from the Chinese history, from the Chinese Kung Fu history, from Buddhism or Buddhist teaching, from Taoist teaching, from science. Because what I'm going to share with you is not about selling you my lineage or who am I, or come study with me. The purpose of this sharing is so that Wing Chun, or Wing Chun is a part of Chinese culture, can survive. Because Chinese is not very good in keeping their culture. That is the facts. It's like the Chinese esoteric Buddhism. Right now, it is gone in China. It is still alive fully in Japan. Even the way how to make the Chinese clothing, like 1,000-something years ago in the Tang Dynasty type of stuff, you can go to Japan and look into it. The Chinese, because of so many war and so forth, so many people have lost. And so whatever I'm sharing with you here is what I bring to America, so that just hope that it can keep in America and it can spread to the world so that everybody know what is going on. Now, as for the questions that it seems that Asia have no authentic Wing Chun. You cannot find authentic Wing Chun in Asia anymore. Well, you need to understand that the authentic have different meanings. The authentic in the Asia, authentic Wing Chun in Asia today is based on what happened in past 130 years. Of course, it is authentic, but that is belong to past 130 years, not what before that, okay? So let's start. And after today, hopefully you can see the big picture. And if you have questions, we can Zoom and meet and straighten the thing out by evidence. Over here in this channel is like the university classroom. There's no title. There is no politics. There is no who is better fighter. There is no who is richer. There's no who is more famous. But you speak with evidence, like in the university. So let's start. So the questions come, the first thing is, the first line here said, how much content has survived from 1850s onward into the modern era in Wing Chun we see today? Okay. And related to this question, it said that has the evolutions of the art from its starting point up the modern era being steady upward curve, as people often have the idea that something begin as crude rudimentary and slowly get refined and improve over time. Is it necessary for today's Wing Chun practitioner to completely empty his cup if he is to learn from 1850 Wing Chun? What are the ramifications of Xiu Lim Tao being split into three parts? Xiu Lim Tao meaning the ancient, the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao being split into three parts. What are the difference between the way various Quinquit has been presented or understood up to today and the way of 1850s written Quid is to be understood? So today, let's settle this for everybody. You can use my YouTube, this YouTube, to do translation if you want. Okay. I will not allow using my YouTube for any crazy stuff, but if it's proper for translation into different language, I'm okay with it. You can quote me on what I'm saying, okay? Now, the first thing is, how much content has survived from 1850s onward into modern era in Wing Chun we see today? Now, this question cannot be answered. Why? As here it is said that, is it necessary for today's Wing Chun practitioner to completely empty his cup if he is to learn from 1850s Wing Chun? We need to know that even today's Chinese, most Chinese do not understand the ancient Chinese culture. Okay? It is a fact. So in order to understand ancient Chinese, it's not about cleaning or empty whose cup. It's to really study what is going on. It's like I don't understand the culture and history of Spain. So if I want to learn Spain properly, I need to go study the Spain history, not making up my mind because I heard this guy, this tourist go to Spain and come back, tell me, oh, this is Spain. That tourist said this is Spain. Not that. No. Today's Wing Chun is exactly that. Like tourists go to Spain and then go back to his country, and then he talk about Spain is this, Spain is that. Is that Spain? There's a big question mark there. And of course, there are bits and pieces about Spain, but is it Spain? Now, If you listen to those kind of stuff, it will get in your mind that you thought that it is Spain, but it is not Spain. So you need to solve that question first. What it is? What is Spain like? What is Wing Chun is? Once you get that, this is simple to, it just fall, you know, the solution is just fall down, okay? It's just clear up. So let's get to one thing, which is everybody must know first. Chinese martial arts is not what you heard from Mui, Ji Sim, or this burning of Shaolin. Wing Chun is not from that. Chinese martial art is not from that. What you heard about Ji Sim, Mui, all those burning of Shaolin is from a fictions, a story created in past, say, 180 years or so. It is not the real history of China or martial arts. Mui, Ji Sim, those are fictitious people. It is a symbol, the anti-Qing make. And then it is in the fictions where people make. Now, 100 years ago, the Chinese historian like Tang Hao know that. And that's why he wrote books saying that, why are you guys doing this? Okay, so there's research in China 100 years ago on that already. It is published in the book. Now, the real Chinese martial art is belong to three group of people. The first group is the Chinese military. Chinese military, because they need to fight, protect their country, keep the country stable, that military. The second is security guard. The second type of people is security guard. And security guard, it can be like the people who secure the village. Like in China, often they are fighting between this village and the robbers come want to rob the village. And because of the government is the police force is so far away, the village, they have to protect themselves. There is one type of security guard. And then there are security guard, which is like today's bank security guards. We just brought one thing to another place. Those are security guard. The third type is the school teacher who, like in the village, teaching self-defense, those kind of stuff. So the Chinese martial art is in the hand of military, security guard, and the school teacher. Now, however, the core of it is military, and the second is security, and the third is the school teacher. Okay. So we need to get the priority proper this way. The art, the real martial art is using in the war zone or using in the in protecting their village. Okay. And the school teaching self-defense, there's the third class. Okay, now those are Chinese martial arts. Now, the Buddhists and Taoists and medicine practice and so forth, they are like today's sports science. It actually, it serves to enhance the martial arts of the military, of the security guard, or the school teacher. Okay, so don't buy into those. This monk is the super fighter, like Bodhidharma is a super fighter. Bodhidharma, the first patriarch of Zen, is a super fighter. Well, it never exists in the real history. And also Taoists saying that like this, there is a story of the Taiji Zhang Sanfeng, who is the internal art guy, and then he learned the art in the dream, and then the next day he can kill hundreds of bandits. And then there is Taiji. Well, those are actually nonsense. In the old time, people do marketing too. So in the real martial art, it has to base on the military. Now, Wing Chun, 1850, is based on Shaolin, the real Shaolin, okay? The Shaolin martial arts. And the Shaolin martial arts is based on military art of General Qi Ji Guang of Ming Dynasty. So I wrote a book. I have wrote a book to show you. I have wrote a book, The Kung Fu 1560, to show you how those things is created. Okay, how the General Qi Ji Guang at the Ming Dynasty at 1560 reformed the Chinese martial art, because he had to fight the Japanese pirate who is good at or expert at the Japanese sword and jiu-jitsu. Okay. Now, so Wing Chun is from the military art of General Qi Ji Guang, go to the Shaolin sword strike, Shaolin, and going down to the Wing Chun 1850. Okay. Now, all this Taoist stuff or Buddhist stuff, like the Anapanasati, the Taoists, those are just coming here. It just enhances the art, the fighting art. Okay, so you need to be really clear of this. This all can be, all of this, as you can see that you have the year there. All of this can be tracked in the history. You can verify it. Okay, so you need to have this this picture in your mind. You cannot saying, oh, there's a Jisim of Shaolin and the anti-Qing, the burning of the Shaolin and all those kind of stuff. Those are fiction. Okay, now. So the Wing Chun I'm presenting by evidence is the Wing Chun of 1850. In 1850, Wing Chun is the martial arts of the opera actors, opera actor. Okay. So Wing Chun is the martial art of the opera actor. Wing is praise, singing. Chun is opera. Wing Chun Queen. Queen is martial arts. So Wing Chun Queen mean really clearly it is the martial art of the opera singer or today's actor, opera actor. Now, And all those actors, they joined in a uprising, 1850, supporting the Taiping Revolution in 1850s. You can read it in history. So the Wing Chun ancestor in the red boat who practiced Wing Chun Kuen at that time is with this uprising. Now, at that time, there's another martial art which is well known, exists at that time, which is the brother of the anti-Qing, which is supporting the uprising. That is the Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat. Today, you can see Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat. You can go Fat San, you can see the Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat, the ancestors, school, the ancestor school, and you can go to China, you can see that, and you can see that the Choi Lei Fat is one of the very good preserved Chinese martial arts. Okay, everything is trackable, and Choi Lei Fat have preserved the anti-Qing, the code, secret code, and so forth. And so Wing Chun is actually with the Choi Lei Fat, they are working together in a place called Fine Jade Association. Fine Jade Associations is the associations of the opera group. And at that time in Fat San, the Kinghua or the Fine Jade Associations is like the headquarters of the terrorists. The Qing government headquarters reside in Guangzhou of Canton, and all those anti-Qing people is resided in Fat San in the Kinghua Hui Kun. That is their headquarters. So in the uprising, all those people, they are actually in the from the Kinghua Hui Kun. Kinghua Hui Kun is also the heaven and earth association. So actually, people know Fat San Kinghua Hui Kun is the anti-Qing headquarters, like the terrorist headquarters for the Qing. And the Qing is resided in Guangzhou, the government. Okay, so that's how it is. So today, if we want to know many things, we want to verify many things of Wing Chun, we can verify using the Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat's technical details, because Wing Chun and Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat, they are allies. So you have to know that they have to have a same level of technical details there. So if you want to know the reality of what is Wing Chun look like, then you check on the Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat. Even though they both using different uniqueness, but they have the same type of level. Okay. Now, let's go talk about the General Qi Ji Guang's military art, which is the mother of the Shaolin. And the Shaolin is the mother of the of Wing Chun. I have wrote a book based on evidence. All the details is here from Qi Ji Guang to Shaolin to Wing Chun 1850. And so like the plum flower footwork and everything is here, okay? Based on evidence, not anybody's interpretations, because you want to make things works. You want to know how thing works to make it works, or else that, you know, we cannot design wheels. Now, the martial arts of General Qi Guang have this four type of momentum zone. Okay, so this is a long, this is a short, this is takedown, this is the ground fighting. The ground fighting is not like today's jiu-jitsu, but it's a lot of kick and a lot of using leg to tie up the opponent. Okay, but it is not the jiu-jitsu type. It's a kick and using leg to tie the opponent up. It's still tying up, locking people up, but it's using leg a lot. Okay. Now there's a throwing here. This is the close body combat, and this is the long distance fight. So you have the long distance zone, you have the short distance zone, you have the throw and takedown zone, and then you have the ground. That exists in 1560. Okay, now at 1560 it already existed, and this group of art is named as long fist. This group of art is named as short strike. This group of art is named as ground fighting. 3 types. So this is what it is. You can see how thin it is. There's a lot of content there because this is for real fighting. And so as you can see here, it is using the leg to lock up, to lock up the joint, to tie up people. See this? Beside the kick. So it is not like today's jiu-jitsu. It's different, but you have all this. This is what it is. Now, this is the Shaolin short strike. Shaolin close range fighting, or sticking body, like your body stick to the opponent's body type of fighting. This is Shaolin. This is the mother of Wing Chun, 1850. And actually this is belong to this group. This is called short strike group. Now, start at 1560. The Chinese martial art have already all have this 4 momentum zone, or all have those 3 type of fighting: long fist, short strike, and ground fighting. All of them have. The differences is what is the uniqueness. So the Shaolin, which is the mother art of the Wing Chun, is expert in here. Expert in here. Okay, so the unique of the Shaolin short strike is here. So it is like that. And Wing Chun inherited this type of uniqueness. But still Wing Chun have the long fist and the ground, because they need to know how to deal with the opponent. If it's going down to the ground, if it is fighting long fist. However, the uniqueness is here. So if you want to look at the uniqueness of Wing Chun, it is this type. It is this close, fighting this close. Okay, or I can share with you more. It is fighting this close. It's not far away. It's not like in a box. Western boxing range or in this range. No, it is the body, the shoulder touching his shoulder, the thigh touching his thigh. Okay, so there is the short strike. Now, so you can think about, in today's view, you can think about like the jiu-jitsu who can get this close to the opponent. So if the opponent chop you with a katana, you go in right away, close in him, you take him down, you strike him. That is short strike art. That is short strike art. That is the mother art. This is the Shaolin mother art. Okay, and Wing Chun is that. Now, so this is Biuji. Biuji of Wing Chun is described clearly in this book, okay, of Shaolin, and I have it presented in my book here. Okay, there's a lot of technical details here, and also this is the ready stance. Okay, that is how it is, because you want to get in right away. Like if you think about it, it's like this. He's going to chop you with a samurai sword, you're going to get in right away. Okay, now, so you know what is it, and if you see that the Shaolin drawing of the Mang Xuanji, which is the head of the Shaolin sword strike, which is the mother art of Wing Chun. Every piece of technical details is written here. This is for the Biuji. So you say you can have Biu like this, and then you can turn from Biuji to the attack on the top, and so forth. Okay, so you have the Biuji. You can Biuji in the middle. To the top, you can change right away without pulling back. You can change to the low. You can chop strike. That's how it continue on to attack, and it is written there. Okay, so it is in my book, Restricting Wing Chun. You can see those things. Now, we know that Wing Chun, per history, is the martial art of the opera singer. So I have made a YouTube on the true identity, root of martial art name, and founder of Wing Chun by historic evidence. This is the salutations of Wing Chun 1850, and it is based on the posture, the gesture of the actor who played the female role. Okay. So that's what, because this art of Wing Chun, it is belong to the group of the opera actor who play the female role. That's why it is called a female art. It is never about a girl invented this Wing Chun, okay? Or a lady invented Wing Chun. It is not. The truth is, because this martial art belongs to the actor who played the female role, that's why they call it female art. And this one have a code name here, which is have a writing here, which is like the Choi Lei Fat, Hong Sing Choi Lei Fat. They are anti-Qing. So the meaning of this gesture is short finger and bong present to the hero. Hero is the anti-Qing. So that is the salutations of the closing salutations of Wing Chun in 1850. Meaning that you go out there, you make the salutation, people know, oh, this guy is from the female actor, playing female role actor group of anti-Qing. Okay. So we got it this close. And if you check Hong Cheng Shaolin, they have theirs to represent their identity. Now, let's get into a big picture on what is Wing Chun 1850 by content. By the content, okay? Now, Wing Chun 1850 have two parts. You can break in two parts. One is the means of fighting. How do you fight? In other words, how do you fight? So it is like here. Wing Chun is a short strike art, sticking body, short strike art. This is the way how it fight. This is a uniqueness. It is like today's, if you look at Western boxing have his jab, cross, and hook. And the Wing Chun 1850 have the uniqueness of, this is a 360-degree attack. You look at it, this is from the back, this is from the side, this is from the front side. This is the mean, this is how they fight. So it's just like if you practice BJJ and an opponent come, you have your uniqueness, you go and you take him down. Wing Chun is, if you attack him, he's going to get close to you, stick at you, using his body to control you while he strike you or throw you. Notice the key point is using the body to control you, to control the opponent, because he's using the body to stick at the opponent, and that used as a control, and then it strike, joint lock, or it throw. That is the uniqueness. Now, those things, the means of fighting is only worth 30%. Another 70% here is your body conditioning. If your body is not conditioned properly, then this is useless. It is just a movie showing the move. Okay? So 70% is here, condition the body. Only 30% is belong to the techniques, how you fight. Okay. Today, in this body condition, we can know that it is there are three types of training. The first type is for the qi development or nurture qi, which is recovery in today's sports science language. The second type is the aerobic base for general health. The third type is endurance training. Now, all these three types of training exist in 1850s Wing Chun. The sequence is you need to train so that you know how to recover your body or how you're going to develop your qi. The second is you need to be able to handle your body. The third is the endurance, because when you have to fight, you have to have endurance and explosive power and speed. So there are 3 different types of training. Now, for the 3 different types of training, we know that the last type of training, the explosive power and speed endurance training, is belong to anaerobic in today's language. While the first 2 types is belong to aerobic. It's aerobic training. So does the 1850s Wing Chun do Chi Sao? Yes, but those belong to the aerobic training, the Chi Sao practice. Does the 1850s Wing Chun do the Qi practice or the circular Qi and everything? Yes, that belong to the recovery. Those 2 are both belong to the aerobic group in today's language. And that is the explosive and speed endurance training, which is anaerobic. That is the third class of training, which means you involve in sparring, okay? Involved in, like today's language, heavy back training, and involved in like the wooden dummy training. But those are high speed, explosive power and speed endurance training. It's not like today, you play a set, you do Chi Sao. It's not that. It is like those training in Western boxing, where you go full speed, full power, which is anaerobic. So the body handling, even though at that time in the Chinese do not have the term aerobic and anaerobic, they have all the training. In fact, the Shaolin have that. In fact, even at 1560, General Qi Ji Guang have that anaerobic type of training. Because you want to fighting, you need to have the anaerobic of training, okay? And also you need to, you can look at it this way. All the so-called internal training is aerobic. Aerobic training is internal training. Remember the recovery, the aerobic base, those are internal training. And why is it called internal? It is internal because of this type of training. You know that at the aerobic or recovery and aerobic based training, say at the recovery training, your blood, your body is at rest. When you nurture qi, like you're standing in zhanzhuang or nurture qi, your blood distributions, okay, is in your internal organs. When you go, say, for example, anaerobic, high speed, you want to have explosive, your blood distributions will be in the muscle. And that's why you want to fight, you want to strengthen your muscle, you have all those power, explosive, high speed. At that time, your blood distributions is go toward the muscle. So that is called external. Okay. So when you talk about internal training, is like you can look at it today's language, where your blood distributions is in your internal organ. So you can keep healthy, you can strengthen when you are doing the recovery. For the aerobic, your blood have a balanced distributions between your internal organs and your body muscle. So it's like the aerobic based training. When you go for the fighting training, high speed, explosive, power, and so forth, that is on the other end of the blood distributions to your internal organ is now into your muscle. And over here, you have to deal with, like, because it's anaerobic, you have to deal with your lactic acid and all kind of stuff, because here you are burning carbohydrate for your energy. Here you're using oxygen. So your body is actually operate in a different state. 1850 Wing Chun have all of this. So hope that you'll be clear now. The so-called internal, external, the different type of training. In today, we know that it is aerobic and anaerobic. And aerobic, you can have the aerobic base and aerobic and the recovery. Okay, recovery is for develop your chi, and it's based on your heart rate variability. Okay, so that is Wing Chun 1850s training in a big view. You need to have that. You need to have 70% to develop this. And of course, when you get old age, you're not going to train in the high speed, explosive power, those kind of stuff, because your body, human body, have limitations. And you are tense into the aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic and the aerobic base and the recovery. So people are saying that I do this slow and song and soft. What did they train? They only train in here. Today, mostly people is doing just the aerobic base, the aerobic base exercise. They have never really go to the chi development. I wrote a book on the real chi development. And in fact, you can measure today whether you have that kung fu or not, based on your heart rate and the heart rate variability. Is for recovery. So the process in this book. And also how to breathe, how to sing qi to Dan Tian. I wrote a book, Wing Chun Matrix. How to sing qi to Dan Tian is already here. Okay. Now, there are many things there. Sing qi to Dan Tian is just a very basic stuff in your aerobic base training and in your recovery training. When you want to go to the anaerobic for the fighting, you need more intense training. Of course, you'll be able to do Sing Qi to Dan Tian. It's going to indirectly help you, like to get your VO2 max higher indirectly, because you're breathing deeper, your body function better. But that is not a direct training of your VO2 max. When you want to train your VO2 max, you have to go into this third type of training. First, You cannot get those VO2 max in your wooden dummy practice today, like in the movie or in your Qi Sao or your Shaolin Tao sets. Look at how the Western boxer or Olympic runner or marathon runner train their VO2 max to increase their VO2 max, and doing the threshold training and doing the anaerobic training. If you don't have those training, you are good for recovery and you're good for the basic health training, but you cannot fight because you don't have it. Now, so I have start a standard called US3, which is the USA Shaolin Tao scientific standard. Externally, you train the bone joints, meaning you have to be able meaning you have to be able to handle your different joints of your body. Meaning you have to be able to handle all those joints of your body. Externally, you need to train your joints and your bones and your muscle. Well, that is external training. Internally, you need to train, as what I just mentioned, all this aerobic and anaerobic stuff here. By the way, this thing in the joints is in my book, Beginning Wing Chun. How is proper, how is not proper is here. Now, notice that over here, you don't have something called structure. You don't have today's like your mind power, your straightened spine. Why? What? Because at this level, this anaerobic, this level, fighting explosive level, you involved in like today's plyometrics. Okay? You need the plyometrics. And so your body test is a vertical jump test. Whether you be able to handle your body. It is, in today's language, is plyometrics handling. Or else you cannot fight. Now, so what you face in the 1850s Wing Chun is not this type of punching. Okay? Again, it is not this type of punching. What you want is not this. It's not like you're standing in this distance and you punch and all this thing. It is this type. It is this type, your entire body go. Okay? Now, so that is you need those type of parametric type of training to have the explosive to charge in like this. Your opponent strike you, you go in. This is 360 degree, okay? So it is never you're standing there with the structure and you punch this way. It is at every instance. You continue on this type of explosive power and speed. Continue changing. So up to here now, I hope that you have seen the external training. You have those playoff matrix type of training where your body can charge in to KO your opponent. On the internal, you have the aerobic, anaerobic, and you have your heart rate variability training. And of course, over here, you have your VO2 max training. So the ancient is that. So the ancient 1850s Wing Chun is that. It is not what you see today, Wing Chun. Today's Wing Chun is created and evolved in the past 130 years. It is something else. It is not what in the 1850s. Now, so we come back to here. How much content have survived from the 1850s onward in the modern era Wing Chun today? Now, we know this. We know that the Wing Chun 1850 and today's Wing Chun is a two different story. And also, he said, is it necessary for today's practitioner to completely empty his cup if he want to learn the 1850s Wing Chun? You just see, it is a different stuff. It's just like, if I don't go to Spain, I go heard from somebody who is a tourist visiting Spain and come back telling me it can be a really different thing. Unless I go to Spain. Oops, you don't see that. Sorry. So unless I go to Spain, I will not be able to know what exactly Spain is. It is not about clean, empty his cup. Because there's nothing to empty. If I have never been in Spain, then I don't know Spain. I have to go to Spain to know what exactly it is. What I present to you just now is exactly what it is. Wing Chun 1850, which is based on the ancient Chinese martial arts. And be able to explain in today's sports science. Because remember, Chi Chi Kong have to face the Japanese warrior, which is using the samurai sword and the jujitsu. In today's language, you have to have all this aerobic and anaerobic training. And you have to have the point matrix training to charge in. Okay? So it's a different story. Now, over here, he said that has the evolution of the art from the starting point of the modern era. So if you look at past 130 years, it actually is evolving the past 130 years type of Wing Chun. It is not evolving the 1850s Wing Chun because it is a very different thing. For example, we talk about aerobic and anaerobic, the chi, the heart rate variability, using those modern terms to express what is in the ancient 1850s Wing Chun. Today's you don't have that. And we talk about the plyometrics training, which is charging explosive power. Today, you don't have those training. Okay. Now, let's get into this. What's the difference between various or quit? Okay. Now, quit. So we go back to 1560. We go back to we go back to 1560. In 1560, the writing which is I already translated into this book, Kung Fu 1560. Over here, it said that here I draw out the momentum. The momentum, okay, momentum is mass multiplied by velocity. I draw the momentum types because at that time, 1850s, 1560, there are 32 type of momentum type, meaning 32 type of how you're going to fight. And so he said, I draw the 32 type of momentum type, and I put the quit. I explain the key point. So quit is key point. Now, so we look at how is one of the 32 is this. It draws the momentum of how a bong is properly used, and this is the quit. Write down the key point. So this is saying that this is the forward bong. You lean to the body, and you spin and strike him, and also you can take him down or sweep him to drop him. Okay. So the example is like this. This is the bong. You can get in, right away elbow in, right away elbow in, and sweep him down. That is what written here. So quit is very specific. Quit is about key points. And the key point is really details pointing up to a certain handling of momentum, or the certain handling of the momentum based on plyometrics, because you need the explosive power to get in. It's like you need this type of power to get in continuously. That's why you are in anaerobic when you fight. Okay, that's why your Chi Sao and your wooden dummy cannot do it, because you don't have the plyometric, the continued momentum in your aerobic training, in your anaerobic training. This is also quit. Over here, he said, asking question: how is weak person can defeat the strong? And here he said that you want to dodge and strike him. So here he said that the quit say you dodge so that he miss whatever power he have come in, miss up there. Okay? And you seems to give up yourself, meaning that you just you don't fight him face to face, but you still strike him. Okay. And then here he said that you turn different way, you face him, but you face him. So in today's language, meaning that he's going to strike me, he's very powerful, and I'm not going to take him front, like try to capture his center line. He's bigger than me, and he's much stronger than me. So I'm going to go in with angle. So I actually let him do what he's doing, but I'm not actually let him doing what he's doing. He want to come to my center line, I let him do, but in the same time, I attack him with the angle to his center line, with my heart pointing at him. That is what the 1850s Wing Chun. Meaning that I'm going to attack your center line, but I'm not going to attack to brute force, to fight force with force. I let you get what you want, which is you want my center line, you attack in, I let you have that move. I don't even want to tangle you. I don't want to resist or blocking you. You want this position to come in, I let you come in. I just shift angling in, and with my heart always pointing at your center line. So this is a quid. Okay, so let me see the words. I was running out the word. Okay, so I have actually translated in the Wing Chun metric. It said, dodge to dissipate the force which could move a mountain. I just open it up here so that you can see. You can check on into this. Okay, this is translate here. This is quit. So it is said this: dodge to dissipate the force which could move a mountain. Even your force, your strength can move the mountain as powerful as that. I just dodge to dissipate it, because once I dodge out, your strike is useless. Soar, sieve, and shoot into opponent at the same instance. Meaning that I dodge and I right away I shoot in. Shoot in meaning like this. Shoot in meaning this. This is shoot in. You just shoot in. Your entire body go in. Okay? And you go in the angle. So he come at you. Dodge to dissipate whatever he come. You shoot in from an angle. Concession without conceding is exceptional. Meaning that I concess. You want this, I give it to you. But I shoot in from the other side. Always face the opponent when one dodge or turn. I use my heart to pointing at the opponent. I dodge and I shoot in continuously. So that is the quid, okay, of the Shaolin sword strike. If you want to have play in this type of art, that is the quid you want to use. Now, in 1850s, quid is like this. So you have the quiet the mind, return to awareness. This is for your nurture chi. Like I put in here in this book. This is the nurture chi type of quit of the Shaolin Tao, 1850. Okay. Now, the quit like this, the quit. Draw out and chop must be executed without a delay. Draw out and chop must be executed without a delay. Spear finger is poison, use it at emergency. That is belongs to this part, which is the fighting, which is explosive part, which is explosive power part. Okay, and that you need to have the today's language plyometrics type of training for the explosive charge in, and that of course when you strike, your entire body go in. You are not striking with this punch there. No, your entire body. You see this? It just go in, the entire momentum hit in. Okay. So that is what is written on the quit of 1850. And here you talk about Dan Tian, union in the Dan Tian. That is the deep breathing. Okay. So you have all this. And if you compare with today's Wing Chun is like this. Your attacking zone is here, while the MMA is like this entire box. And the Kung Fu 1560 is, as I share with you here, it is like MMA. It's an entire fighting zone. So this is today's Wing Chun. That is their target, the center line, their target, and the ancient Chinese Kung Fu is not that. And it is 460 years ago, it is an MMA in today's term. I have just made a video. I have made a video a few months ago on this. In my channel. So the title is SOS Wing Chun. Okay. So you see, after you see all of this, you can see how much content has survived the 1850s toward into modern era in the Wing Chun we see today. It is the different thing. It's a different art. The evolutions of the art from the starting point, modern era, has been studied out, of course. Okay, as people often have an idea that something begin as crude and slowly get to refine and improve over time. Well, the Wing Chun today is actually back evolution. The Wing Chun today, as I share with you, is only here. It's only this thing. And you can see that they have the structure. They don't have that shoot in, and they don't have the entire thing. The short strike, the long fish, the ground fighting. And if you want to fight MMA, you at least you need this kind of stuff. This is just a really narrow in the technical sense. And as for the Quinquit, well, today's Quinquit is all philosophy and created in past 130 years. It really means that everybody can have their interpretation. But in the ancient, I just show you like the general Qi Ji Guang. This is the momentum. I draw it for you. This is the key point of that momentum is specifically clearly. If this is a fifth issue from heart, it specifically tell you this, right? Which is I share with you just now in my book, Wing Chun Matrix. That is the entire thing. So here you say that always face the opponent when one dodge and turn. That is fifth issue from heart. And in the 1850s, Wing Chun, you say clearly here, eye must track hand, hand must track heart, hand issue from heart. The details of mind and body synchronization has to be meticulous. Oh, shoot, I cannot, I just show you here. So here he said, in the 1850s Wing Chun, I must track heart, I must track hand, hand must track heart, hand issue from heart. The details of mind and body synchronization has to be meticulous. Well, that is the full context. Today, everybody have their version or interpretation of what is hand issue from heart. So that is a reality of today's Wing Chun. It is a break. It break apart from the Wing Chun 1850 and the traditional Chinese martial arts. It's no longer what it is. So that's what it is. You cannot using a sentence to explain this. You have to know what I just shared with you just now. Probably take 1 hour to understand this. Now, as for the Xiu Lim Taos, the 1850, you have this Xiu Lim Tao sets, which is I present the writing in the Wing Chun Inception book. The entire training is there. The entire training is in that writing or in that quid of the Xiu Lim Tao set 1850. When you split that into the 3 sets, whoever doing it in the past 130 years, that's for sure. It is no longer follow that. Say this is the quid of Xiu Lim Tao quid of 1850. It tells you the full contents of what is hand issue from heart, how to handle your mind, how to handle your legs, how to handle your breathing, okay? And how to handle your fingers and how your hand whips out. And then see, it tells you spiral twisting naturally follow the breathing and directions of the qi. And then here, swallowing and spitting like a smooth rainbow issue force. Well, swallow and spitting like smooth rainbow issue force, that means that it is in a high anaerobic zone. You need to know how to handle your breathing, and you need to be really explosive. Today, you don't have that anymore. So that is the reality of Wing Chun past 130 years and the Wing Chun 1850. I did not make up one word or my opinion. This is based on reality, like an archaeologist showing you that 80 years ago, this is how people live. 80 years later, today, we have this Ethernet, we have the cell phone. 80 years ago, they have phone, their phone is a line phone and all this kind of stuff. So based on the evidence, this is the what it is, okay? So today, many people, like only a few weeks ago, there are people who try to take something, copy from my books, and try to write a book on 1850s Wing Chun and so forth. But he's practicing the 1960 type of Wing Chun. He have no idea and no training in this. He is practicing this type of Wing Chun, and then he just taking some of my my sharing, like this elements here, and then he call it the 1850s Wing Chun or whatever. Well, you're missing the point completely. And that's why those kind of thing is prohibited. Right now, the entire world must stop those kind of stuff. Because you are damaging the Chinese culture, you're damaging Wing Chun. So I wish I know how to speak Spanish or Italian, and I can explain all to you. Because unless you train like the way how they trained before, you are not going to be able to face MMA. You face it. It's just very simple, one page. Have you trained in the aerobic and anaerobic? Have you trained the recovery? Can your say structure doing the plyometrics for the explosive power and so forth? If you cannot, you will not be able to do this. You will not be able to do breathing this way, the full breathing. You see this breathing? And if you switch to today's E.G. Kamyongma, you will turn into this. You see the breathing? You have only 1/3 of the breathing. And if you don't train in the paramedics and so forth, you're going to punch this way. You're not going to be able to do this. And your opponent is going to do that, okay? So you're standing there with this kind of stuff, is not going to be able to face this type of thing. So the techniques, no matter what techniques you have, if you just do this kind of stuff, you will never be able to handle this. So I want to share with you a story of General Chi Chi Kuang, 1560. What Chi Chi Kuang find out when he he's a general, he was asked to fight the Japanese warrior or Japanese pirate which have Japanese warrior, is that the Chinese sword, the Japanese katana sweep down can break 2 Chinese swords. Meaning that you got 2 people with the Chinese sword there, try to resist a katana chop, that Japanese sword, because of the metallurgical thing, the quality, it can break 2 Chinese swords. The same thing. You need to know that. If you don't have the anaerobic and aerobic explosive power and speed endurance training with the plyometrics, how are you going to fight those who have those training, like your Western boxing friend? So it is back again to 1560. Like when Qi Ji Guang find out that, oh my God, the Chinese sword cannot handle the Japanese katana. The Japanese sword sweep down, you can break 2 swords. So this is what I like to share with you. Is Wing Chun in a crisis? Wing Chun is in a crisis since 130 years ago. It never gets solved. And today is even go worse. Because what, like an archaeologist, you can predict things. What developed in the past 130 years is not going to be able to continue on. Why? You miss the aerobic and anaerobic training. You miss the recovery training. You miss the momentum plyotronics training. You miss the uniqueness, which is going side 360 degrees, which is in the 1850s. So it cannot go forward. Now, as for 1850, why is it become like this? It's because in the anti-Qing uprising, the Wing Chun ancestor get practically wiped out. They die or they go hiding. They don't touch this thing anymore. Why? Because at that time, if you are caught in the uprising, the Qing government know that you're an uprising, it's going to execute your entire family, your father's family, like your uncles, your teachers' families, your wife's families, your mother's families. So everybody walk out from that. You get caught, you completely will get destroy your own family. So people walk away, hide away, and because it's just a lost revolutions or lost uprising, everybody go stay out. And at that time, as what I just explained to you, all this on the Wing Chun 1850, there are a lot of high educated things there. And after all the elite of Wing Chun died in the uprising, it comes down is you don't have much people who have the education to understand. Like in past 130 years, you ask who trained the anaerobic type, who trained the like this the Qi, the recovery type. You can see in today's Shaolin Tao, none of that exists, none applicable. So your Shaolin Tao is only, today's Shaolin Tao you can see is only, it can be taken as exercise, but still it is not even aerobic based. It is not for recovery. It is not for anaerobic. It cannot do the plyometrics explosive training. But that has been passed down for past 130 years, thinking that Shaolin Tao have some magic. Well, it doesn't have magic because it cannot deliver in the in terms of recovery, in terms of aerobic base, in terms of anaerobic. It cannot cover the shoot-in or the explosive endurance training. It doesn't have it, and the structure actually doing the opposite to block oneself from the plyometrics. You look at the structure today, it is opposite of how the plyometrics need to be practiced. So we are talking about human body. We are not talking about who badmouth who, all this family lineage politics of the past 130 years. Here we talk about archaeologists, talk about what is by evidence and human body and science. You know it doesn't work. So this is what I like to share with you. Hopefully that if you understand French, Spanish, or your language, which I don't know, explain to your people why this is important. You need to know that in past 460 years since 1560, what is the reality of fighting? When you don't train those stuff, which is human body needed for fighting, you cannot fight. Again, finally, very simple. If you're keeping trainers, no matter how hard you can punch, standing there, no matter how fast, how hard you can punch, you will no way be able to handle people like this. Am I right? And fighting is all like this. You look at all the MMA fight, isn't it like that? So this is to share with you today.